Over the next few months, I'll be going through each of my main videos and breaking down the music side of things, starting off with No One Sleeps Tonight. I also want to note that these videos are not edited or scripted. I'm just kind of talking. I'm just going through this project. I'm saving all of my effort for the main videos on the first channel. So let's get into No One Sleeps Tonight. It mainly started off with this main guitar part right here, this melody. So I got that idea at work. Actually, a lot of the ideas from like before 2025 came from work because, well, I'm just like listening to music in my head and improvising. And when I get an idea, I pull out my phone and then I record. I just sing into it. And I have ideas of like the chord in my head, but I don't exactly know it. So I have to go back at home, take the melody, and then try to work out the chords. I'll know if I get the right one. So this right here, this section, is the transcription of that melody that I got. And this is what it sounds like. I usually use this Keyzone Classic plugin to compose all of my parts and like test out things. So I immediately started off with this melody up here, and then I'm just working out the chords. And back then, this was like October 2023 when I started working on this project. I wasn't as good at writing music, so one of the main things I did was just randomly select notes. Like I would just, when I had this melody, I'd just pick a note and just see if it worked with this. And then I just kept going until I had a chord. And then we just move on from chord to chord until we get a fully finished chord progression. So I don't actually know the theory behind this chord progression. I'm learning music theory right now, but I still haven't gone down and analyzed what's going on here. I just write stuff until it sounds good. And also this section here, I think this was just an additional, I was just testing out the second line right here. If you can hear that second line, you might recognize it if you've paid close attention. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's one of my harmony lines somewhere. Oh wait, I think it turned into this melody here. I think I took that part from here. Yeah. So yeah. That got put somewhere, I think just spread around this track. And then I decided to mess around with that melody on guitar, which is this that you originally heard earlier. And at this point, I didn't really know where the track was going. I did recently get this plugin for guitar. It's called Archetype Tim Henson. It's a amp sim. Oh yeah, I have two monitors. I'm going to be swapping in between both of them. So this is Archetype Tim Henson. It comes with this multi-voicer right here, which is kind of what pushed me to fully complete the track. Because when I compose, I mainly just have a bunch of ideas just sitting around. So there's just a bunch of MIDI files that just have note and chords, and they're just sitting there until I figure out a place, well, a way that I could flesh it out into a full track. And the thing that pushed it was this multi-voicer plugin. So I was just messing around with this multi-voicer. Hold on, let me get out my guitar. Let me arm this track. So I decided to mess around with this idea on guitar. And then I decided to plug it into the multi-voicer to see what would happen. And that kind of sounded like this. And I was like, hey, this multi-voicer sounds kind of, it would sound really good in a spooky track. So, and it was also around Halloween at this time. I was like, okay, let's turn this to a Halloween track. And then I tracked like this part. Well, this was made in December, but one of the earlier versions probably sounded like this. Testing around with this, and I was like, hey, this could be a real track, and let's see where this can go. So I don't know the exact details of what happened from this point, since nothing is logged. I started making my development logs, which are just written text that go through like each day what I did. I think I started that around when I made Professional Racist, which is in like May or like March, somewhere around that time. Oh wait, no, it was after this track. But I think it was somewhere around Professional Racist, like in May 2024. So I don't have any logs of what I did and in what order, but I did started working on this intro right here, which yeah, you know how that one goes if you've listened to it. So this one, we'll move on to the instruments that I have here. This is a Surge XT. I just took this theremin preset, one of the theremin presets, and made some adjustments to it. And that's basically the what the ghost sound is. I think it's like a sine wave. I think it's just a sine wave with like reverb. Hold on, let me take a look. What is this? Yeah, it's kind of like a sine wave, but then we get some reverb. Let's go on to here. Yeah, we have Valhalla Supermassive. Wait, why can't I drag this? Hello. What? Wait, do I have to set to detached? There we go. Oh yeah, I think I didn't set a lot of stuff to detach. This was, again, I was just starting to use FL Studio for the first time, so I didn't have like all of the settings correct. So this is the delay that I'm using with the settings, and then, oh yeah, there's a second reverb? I don't, okay, apparently there is a second reverb too. So that's what is going on in the main voice. I think I have the composition for the main, yes, test synth. So this goes through the, this is just me testing out. It sounds like the same as the other one, except the portamento setting on the synth is making it sound a little weird. Here, this portamento. It's causing like a jump every time like I play a chord, so actually splitting out into 3 tracks makes it sound much better. So let's go through what's happening at this next part, which is when we bring in the drums. Try to keep it pretty simple. This bass is... Oh yeah, let's talk about, since we're already talking about the effects and instruments, this bass that I use for pretty much everything is Omni, and it's big for some reason. Okay, it's Omni bass. It's sampled. It's a sample of the Omnific, that band. It's 2 bass players plus a drummer. I didn't listen to them that much back then. I didn't really know who they were. I just mainly went through all of these Submission Audio bass plugins and just picked the one that sounded right for me. And it was this one. I like how it sounds. And I used it ever since. And I still use it, even for No One Sleeps this month. So this bass is... we have some basic processing. I don't actually like how this bass sounds. I stopped using this equalizer because this text here is not... It doesn't apply to everything. It's not great. So I just switched to the default FL Studio equalizer. And what's also happening, if you go take a look at the mixer track right around here, I am routing this bass into, well, I'm side chaining it. I think that's the term. And what I'm doing is taking the bass, bringing it up an octave, and then playing it back with, it's basic EQ. So I'll play it with and without this side chain. Now I'm going to turn it off. So that just adds a little extra something, and I don't actually like it. I prefer it without the octave now. But I would learn more about bass tone later on in the other videos. For the drums, at this time I was using MT Power drum kit. It's free, and it can work. Depends on what you're trying to do with it. I think it's mainly meant for like more rock or metal, which is kind of what I was going for here ish. But it's not the great quality. I did a little bit of processing. If we want to look at it over here, here are my routes. I routed everything out into individual tracks because I saw that's what other people did. And that way I can put individual effects onto each component as needed. So the snare has some compression on it. Oh, I need to click detached. Hold on. So it's got some compression on here. I don't want to go into details of what every effect does, since that would just take, that would just make this video be like super long. But anyways, we also got processing on the hats, just a little bit of reverb, and it looks like, oh yeah, here's where you can see where all the effects are. That's what I'm looking for. It's mainly just the snare that I did. I didn't really know how to mix drums at this point, so this sounds good enough. And what I was trying to do with the snare is make it sound like kind of like a gunshot, because, well, No One Sleeps Tonight, it's about a ghost with a gun. So, I mean, mainly the reverb is what this big harsh sound. It's kind of like what I was going for. It doesn't really exactly sound like a gunshot, but oh well. I kind of wanted that reverb trail. Let's see what else. Oh, the harpsichord. This is a good one. Let's see what we got here. So moving on to the mixer, I have split the harpsichord into 3 different sections and have panned it out just so you can, just so that there's like extra texture. I'll isolate it. So it looks like I made the right side the bass / harmony / the second voice. Let's go into what is actually going on here in this harpsichord. So this is another Contact library. This is the experimental harpsichord. I got this for like $10 when it was on sale, and it sounds pretty good. I like it. I mean, there's not much to say. It's a harpsichord that just sounds pretty good. And then when you combine all of that together, you get this. But I don't want to go fully through it since you can just listen to that track already. This is a second setting, second guitar tone. I have so many like channels for different different guitars. Well, let's see what we got. Okay, so that's the intro uses test. Okay, the second one uses this, which was recorded on, you can see it's recorded on November 17th. Wait, hold on. No. Oh, I think the original thing that I made was on November. And then you can see here I have dates for everything. In December, this was written on December. Oh, this one's December 11th. Oh, this is an old take too. Yeah, I keep my old takes sometimes because I don't know. Sometimes I keep it, sometimes I delete it. But this time the old one's here. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, I didn't fully explain this second guitar tone. So at the start, this is using single coil settings. I think it's split coil, this sound. Oh yeah, we're getting technical. Oh yeah, if you haven't noticed, this is a pretty technical breakdown of what's going on. It's probably going to be more useful if you make music. It's going to make more sense to you. Or if you actually know like the instruments that I'm talking about. So this guitar tone, it's like a single coil. And then when we get to this part over here, I think it's either it's one of the humbuckers. It's either the neck or the bridge. And I wanted it to sound bigger and fatter because it's the main section. And that sounds like this. The guitar is rarely sloppy. This is like my first time recording guitars, and you can see that it's very choppy. There's like a lot of spaces in between, and I also cut things up severely because I wasn't good at guitar. I'm still not good at guitar, but I don't have to chop as much now. But back then, looks like I was playing a lot of notes out of time, not in time. Let's hear what the multi-voicer. And I'm gonna that multivoicer is doing a lot of the work in this track. It's like acting as a pad and giving you the harmonic information. So, oh yeah, there's one thing that I didn't mention up here. This is what storyboarding looks like. So some tracks I already have an idea of what the animation is. Sometimes I don't, and then I try to fit it in afterwards. This is one of the tracks where I try to fit in things afterwards. I think all of the No One Sleeps tracks, it's music first, and then I'm going to figure out an animation later, as opposed to some other ones like Unregistered Firearm, where I already knew what the animation was basically going to be like. Or Be Mine, that's that one too. And then I would write the music to match the storyboard that I already had in mind. And then I would also sometimes adjust the storyboard too to match the music. So it's kind of like a two-way thing where both the storyboard and the music kind of affects each other. And then whatever works is the final result. So in this one, No One Sleeps Tonight, I'm just trying to fit the storyboard to match the music that I've written. And this is a lot. 44, it's not actually 44 seconds since it's got this 1 second, but this is a lot for me to do 44 seconds of storyboarding. So you can see this, I think this matches almost exactly with what happens in the final animation. So in my head, I'm just animating it in my head, just playing the storyboard in my head. And these are just mainly notes, just so I can play the right image in my head. So yeah, moving on to the next. Oh yeah, I also have this note here. Maybe decrease sounds. I think I actually did do that. But I think we were on this section. You can already hear that by yourself. Oh yeah, one thing that you might be a little noteworthy is this spooky part is still playing. Even back here too. So when you listen back, you can try to pick apart what's going on here too. It's really faint, but I can hear it. So just adding a little bit extra support. We also have this, which I think is another multi-voicer. Oh yeah, so what this is I took the multi-voicer. I took the it's just the multi-voicer part out, and I'm basically using it as a pad that supports this this synth line, spook synth line. And the reason why I have this multi-voicer line is because there's actually, why did I even do that? Hold on. Is there even a guitar part here? Oh, okay. So there is no guitar part here. So that's why I exported the multi-voicer out, since you could only, actually, I don't even know why. I could have just like left the dry signal. These are dry signals. And then this is what happens after the effects get applied. That's kind of like how it looks like. I could have left the dry signal in. I actually have no idea why this is exported, but I did it, and it gets the job done. So moving on, next section. This is basically this section, but again. Oh yeah, as you can see, this is messy. This looks messy because actually I think even future projects look really messy and very unorganized. I'm just like dropping things down, moving things around, and just work. Just it doesn't matter if it sounds right. I'm just gonna That's just how it is. I don't know what this is, but since it's using Keyzone Classic, I'm assuming this is a demo. Yeah, so this is how I basically compose every single section. I just open up Keyzone Classic and then I just start writing, figure out the melody, figure out the chords, figure out any additional lines. Like we have this second line going here. I love counterpoint. It's just a lot. If you can hear what's going on, it just sounds cool. Because you can just latch on to different lines and you can listen back to my music again and just like follow the other lines. It's like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. Also, another funny thing, I wrote demo wrong. There's a lot of spelling errors. I just write it down. I don't really care if I got it right. It gets the point across. So, oh yeah, I'm jumping around everywhere. This is not very organized at all. So let's go back to here. I'll probably try and get better at organizing these breakdowns so it's not like all over the place. I'll learn from this video after I make it. Oh yeah, this section, as I said, it's just the other section, but slightly different. It's not as full or in your face. This first one has like more energy. I think it's also because I'm using a different guitar tone. And now we get to the bridge. And this is like my favorite part of the track. If you're a composer, you might want to, I don't know, if you want to like just look at the notes, if you want to take notes on the notes just to see what's going on here. Oh yeah, right below you can see like there's like a shadow. I wrote down the chords earlier just so I could see like what the chord progression is when I actually did the counterpoint section. So there are like 3 lines happening here. The melody line is this blue, and then there's a second line happening like in between here. So hold on, let's like starting from here we have and then we have our bass. Well, it's not like a bass line, but it's just, yeah, I don't actually know the technical term, but this is the third line, which is basically just outlining the bass. So I'll just play this section if you want to hear it, if you're a composer and want to know what notes are being played. I'll solo it so you don't hear anything else. So when I was writing this bridge section, oh, let me find the actual part. Yes, this is the original. As you can see, it's not as complex, and the second line is not there. So when I wrote this part, well, I'm listening to this like in my head. Like when I compose stuff, I will sometimes just bring it up into my head, and then at like work, I'll start improvising over it and just start like thinking about where this could go. And right at this end point, for some reason, I just wanted this to go into someone else's track. Hold on, let me try to sing it if I can. So that's Primrose's theme from Octopath Traveler. It just wanted to move for some reason. Right here, after this chord, it wanted to go into Octopath Traveler. Oh wait. So I decided to actually see what that would sound like, and I put it in right here. So here's the ending again. No, everything from this point on is not mine. This is just me transcribing Primrose's theme from Octopath. So I just wanted to see what would happen if I just added this section to the end. And I was like, wow, that sounded good. It also sounds like there's a key change happening because the notes here look a little different from the ones. Well, the set of notes that I'm using here is a bit different from here. But this key change works well because it's like kind of minor. It starts a little like, well, I mean, it's spooky Halloween song. It starts off minor. And then it starts to go to here, which is just a completely different vibe. So what I did was deleted this melody because I'm not going to copy it, but I did keep this chord progression. And what ended up happening was this second part of the bridge, which you can hear here. It's almost the same chord progression as Primrose's theme, but I think this ending has some diminished. Yeah, there's a diminished chord right here and another one right here. But this is my favorite part, going from this section into the other one. I'll just play this out. And you can also hear the synths are back. And now we get to the build-up. And this was a pretty interesting part because I quad-tracked the guitars, which I think is the only time that I've ever quad-tracked guitars. I'll let you hear all of the individual parts. Oh wait, what the? I think I accidentally flipped. One of these is supposed to be up or down. Here, I'll play both of them at the same time. So that's pretty simple part that is low, and then I think this is higher. Try to pay attention to the higher notes because that's where a little bit of the complexity is happening. I think you can hear it on the left side. Wait, no, that's not. Yeah, this one. And then all together, it sounds like this. And with bass, it sounds like this. And then that eventually comes to the final section. So here, I wanted to just cut off all of the sound and just go for the solo part for this lead multi-voice because it just hits hard. And then after that, I wanted to like slam some notes down for contrast, which is this. Oh yeah, there's one thing that's going on down here that I didn't mention. This is the soundfont guitar. And I think it's being supported by something else. No, not this one. Where is it? I think it's doubling up with the bass. Where even is the bass? Yeah, it's doubling up with the bass. Just to make it sound a little fatter. This sound font, here, let's go to the sound font. Let me figure out what channel this is on. 12. Okay, so this is the sound font. This is also the one that is used on Professional Racist. And I didn't actually like how that ended up. I mainly used this sound font because I didn't want to record it. And it was easier to just do this at the time. Now parts like this is easy for me. I would just record it because I can do it now. So moving on to this final part. Oh, this is another counterpoint section. So it's basically a variation of this. But then there's, here, let me isolate the track. Oh wait, I actually did record this low part. So I did the sound font here and then I actually recorded it here. So as you can see, that sounds like the same, basically the same. So that's why I kind of used it at some points. Yeah, that sounds nearly identical. Well, I mean, it's close enough. Anyways, back to the point. This part has two things happening, two lines. So we have this line playing on your right ear. And that is harmonizing with this lead part. Oh, it looks like I have a demo right here. Let's see what this looks like. Yes. Again, that's, I compose this part first and then I create all of the other, the final parts afterwards, after I get this this demo good, sounding good. So with the multi-voicer, that sounds like this. And then we get to the end. Oh yeah, you probably have noticed that I'm not really talking that much about the bass and the drums, and that's because I don't really like how the bass and drums sound on this. It's really basic, it gets the job done, but there's not anything special happening. It's just a simple beat. So anyways, back to the end. Get back to the harpsichord. the ending is really simple. It's just these 3 synths, and it's being supported very lightly by this bass down here. And oh wow, the end of the bass is called bass end for real, because my naming conventions aren't very good. Hold on, let's take a look at my naming conventions. Ah yes, not great. I will continue to have not really good naming conventions for my patterns. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's the end. You can very faintly hear the bass at the end. So I'm going to remove it to see if you can notice the difference. It's gone. It's just missing something when it's not there. So I'm going to add it back. You have a subwoofer, you can probably hear, or a good speaker or headphone that has good bass response. You can probably hear what's going on. All right, I think I covered just about everything in this track. Oh wait, I missed one thing. The gun sound effects. So these are actual, this is an actual AKM sound effect that I recorded for unregistered firearm. I think like in the fall of 2023 was when I recorded these gun sound effects. And then I also re-recorded them later for unregistered firearm in like spring of 2020. Wait, did I say 2026? No, I recorded the gun sound effects in fall of 2023, and then I recorded them again for unregistered firearm in about like spring 2024. So these were the initial effects that I had. Okay, let's move it to the mixer. Oh, so let's see. Yeah, I split a lot of these tracks individually. Looks like it's going through some EQ. Oh, sound good. I use the sound goodizer a lot for the gun sound effects because it's sound gooder. So it does exactly what I need it to sound like. I also have some reverb happening. I'm gonna turn off all processing. So that's the dry sound. Not too interesting. All the effects really make it pop. And the gun sound effects are accurate. As you can see, I've labeled these: the pre-insert, the insert, the safety, the rack back, rack front. So yeah, I think I covered, okay, now I think I covered like everything that's going on in here. There's also things that I didn't talk about, like the automation, which is like, it's mainly just the volumes. This blue line is also volumes. It's nothing like too interesting going on. Oh yeah, we also have this noise right here that I didn't talk about. And that here, now you hear it with everything else. Okay, now I think I covered everything. And this is a, sometimes I just write stuff and I just leave it within other projects. This is for something else. This is just a test. I don't even know what this... Wait. Oh, it sounds kind of cute. I don't even know if this is gonna if I'm gonna do anything with this. I write a lot of stuff, and most of it you will never see because I throw it away. And then sometimes I keep it like this. Okay, now I think I actually covered everything. So yeah, that's what this project, What No One Sleeps Tonight, looks like. Very messy. First time using FL Studio at this point. The guitar is really choppy. The bass drums don't exactly sound how I want, but the composition is there though. It's got the right idea. Like the choice of notes, I really like my work that I did on this, especially this bridge section. This just sounds really nice. And then into. So yeah, that was No One Sleeps Tonight. And then I will move on to Professional Racist in the next video.